Welcome back to the channel. My name is Jess. If you're new here, this is a part of my sometimes occasionally series called Welcome to the Shitshow, where I talk about my personal life and what it's like to navigate relationships as somebody with severe complex trauma and ADHD and autism on top of it. I loathe being infantilized. I will shut you down so fast for infantilizing me. Hey, I am a 41-year-old person. I own my house. There's presents under my tree for my kids. I don't need a man to come in and try to protect me from him. Especially when that protection involves abandoning me and essentially acting like I don't fucking exist. I had to raise my mother. Okay, I am still teaching her to this day how to have healthy emotional reactions. But a man needs to protect me. The only way that a man has power over me to be able to make me do something that I don't want to do is if he's the president of the fucking United States of America. And even then, be so fucking for real. Power imbalance. Where? So I started thinking about it, right? And interestingly enough, the way that I have curated my TikTok algorithm, it will show me things that I need to see based on the fact that I've interacted with certain people at all, let alone what their content is. Not even a day after this guy decides that we can't actually pursue a relationship, I start getting fed avoidant attachment videos in my TikTok feed. When I broke up with my ex-boyfriend, I started getting fed how to survive covert narcissism. So, I start looking into it, right? Avoidant attachments. I likely have experience with people who have avoidant attachments. I wouldn't know because people with avoidant attachment styles are about as good at communicating their needs effectively as a goldfish is breathing out of water. And that's what's got me tweaked out today, because it takes work, real fucking work, and emotional energy for anyone to deal with a fucking avoidance style of attachment, let alone somebody with severe CPTSD and ADHD, and then they're autistic on top of it. I gotta fucking just deal with my PTSD being activated because an avoidant person what, they were needed too much, so they decided that they had to go silent for a week without communicating that to anybody, let alone their partner? No, absolutely not. 2025 is the year we are going to stop making excuses, especially for men who are avoidant, insecure, attached. Stop it. The overwhelming discourse is that people who have insecure attachments, like we're too clingy, that we're the ones who need to accommodate the avoidance. No. No. If you are an avoidant attached and you knowingly get into a relationship, right? Like you're dating, you're on dating apps, you're talking to people with the express intention of dating, and you know you have an unhealed avoidant attachment style, you are abusive. You are abusive. It is not debatable. That is the end of it. Because we're not doing the whole you're perfect for me, but I'm a dumb fucking asshole with unhealed trauma, so I'm gonna make that your fucking problem. No. No. No! We're leaving that energy the fuck behind in 2024. We're not bringing that shit to 2025. Especially not from men. Especially not from men. And trans men, I'm talking to you too, because I know that being on testosterone can shut some things down. Okay, so if you already have an avoidant attachment style and you're on testosterone, heal your attachment style. Heal that trauma before you go making it someone else's fucking problem. Because in about 30 days, it's done. It's over. It's over for you unhealed little bitches. And I don't care. I don't care. You can call me ableist if you want. You can call me ableist if you want. Overly accommodating avoidant attachment types is a direct result of white supremacist hyper-individuality. Accommodating the avoidant type is why nobody had community to get us through the election. That's why. Because you are encouraging everybody to avoid, do things on their own. Self-care, nobody is worried about community care. And everybody's so worried about how clingy people with those kinds of attachment issues are annoying. Okay, how about how traumatizing people with avoidant attachment types are? How traumatizing it is to constantly have to manage your PTSD reaction. My ex-boyfriend, I was in a constant state of flare-up with my chronic illness. Guess what my chronic illness is fucking triggered by? Excess cortisol. Yeah. For those of you who don't know, myalgic encephalomyelitis and fibromyalgia are two disorders commonly triggered into flare-up by stress, which causes excess cortisol. And if you have other comorbid disorders like ADHD, then it becomes difficult, if not impossible, for your body to detox from all of that excess cortisol. But we are constantly told that we should be the ones to give them space, to, let them do their thing, and don't be too this, don't be too that. And that's it. Don't be too abusive, because that is what it is. Knowingly going into a relationship. I don't understand. You have unhealed avoidant attachment trauma. But you want to be in a relationship you cannot avoid and be in at the same time. It's literally fucking psychotic that anybody even needs to say this. It doesn't make sense to accommodate the person that wants to avoid the relationship. It doesn't make sense. So we're not gonna. That's going to be my hard line in the sand if you are going to be subscribed to me or follow me in 2025. We are not accommodating the people who are avoiding unless they are and can show that they are actively working on their trauma, right? Like narcissism, antisocial personality disorder, psychopathy, sociopathy, all that shit makes you unsafe if you are not actively and consistently working seriously to dismantle, unpack, and heal from whatever caused that. And I say that as somebody who I've talked a little bit about believing that I have antisocial personality disorder. The thing about borderline personality disorder is that the reason why they came up with borderline personality disorder as a diagnosis is because it's on the borderline. You are on the borderline of having a psychotic disorder and whatever, I forget, but that's what the borderline is. Like you could go either way. And so, I sat down with the whatever the traits of an antisocial personality are. And the only one of those traits that I don't meet, or one of those criteria, the diagnostic criteria for ASPD, the only one that I don't meet is having acted out the urge to harm on other people, right? Like literally there's like 10 diagnostic criteria. I fit 9 out of 10 of them. I'm not even officially diagnosed. I just suspect. And knowing what I know about comorbidities, it's likely that I also qualify for a diagnosis of ASPD. So you know what I did? I started unpacking, okay? What is the root of this trauma? And what can I do to mitigate the harm that it might cause others? And I have to be on all the time thinking about that. But guess what? Since I've taken on that sort of like responsibility, I have not been the one to cause harm or to cause the damage in these broken friendships and relationships. If something breaks, it's not my fault because I'm doing the work. So when somebody comes into a relationship with an unhealed avoidant attachment, like, yeah, I can handle it because I'm doing my own work. But my point here is, should I be expected to handle it? Should it be normalized? And that's what I'm saying. It should not be normalized because not everybody has a handle like I do. Not everybody has the self-awareness I do to say, hey, I probably am not in a headspace right now to be able to be in another relationship. Over a year. it took me to even think about voicing my feelings for someone else, let alone about getting involved in a relationship with them. Because I knew that this was the work that I had to do. So I am no hypocrite when I say you do not deserve to have a relationship if you are not working on your trauma. No more accommodating. And that's I found, I'll see if I can put it up on the screen in editing, this quote about how it is not trauma informed or helpful to baby people who have PTSD, right? Like, we talk about content warnings, trigger warnings. Those are not meant to help you avoid what triggers you. They are supposed to help you learn how to manage what triggers you, right? So if you can see it coming, how do you manage that for when you don't see it coming? That is the whole point of trauma therapy. And so, and it's funny because the responses to that original post were fucking wild as shit, yo. Like, people saying it's ableist and recovery is not ableist. Calling someone out or calling an idea or a concept out for being anti-recovery is not ableist. Indulging in an avoidant attachment style is not conducive to community growth, and it's not good for community safety either. And one of the things that we're supposed to be doing as progressives, far leftists, and communists is shedding that hyper-individuality and doing better. And part of that is realizing that you are not the only one with a disorder. And you are not the only one, as somebody with an avoidant attachment style, who has an insecure attachment from trauma. And you are not the only one who deserves to be accommodated because of that trauma. Or be asked to give up comfort in a relationship because of that trauma. Because I know for me personally, I don't thrive in relationships where we aren't working to move past that initial, I don't trust you, so I need to, be like this to begin with. Like, I kept telling my ex, this is something I need in the beginning before I can trust you. It won't take forever for me to trust you, but you got to give it time. And, part of me feels like, people with avoidant attachment, they get triggered, they run immediately and aren't even willing to give these things the sort of time and consideration they deserve. Which is yet another reason why, if you are consciously and actively seeking out relationships with an avoidant attachment style, you are abusive. Like, not debatable. Anyway, I haven't decided about posting that video. For some reason, I don't know what it is that triggered this dude, but it was the video that I just posted, the one right before this, that set him off and made him decide that he didn't want to even try anymore. So I haven't decided if I want to post my other video. But I am thinking, I'm in the middle of a lot of really good books right now. And I think what I'm going to do is just focus on end of the year, like monthly, what was my favorite book each month and this and that, whatever, and not worry so much about finishing any more books. I just fresh start in 2025. We'll see what happens from there. I'm trying to get back into. I'm so sorry. I came out here because you can see the tree in this framing, and it's really pretty, and I love it. But I'm in a lot of pain. That's why I came out on the couch. Not having medication is absolutely killing me. Going from having access to everything I need to having access to nothing I need. It's very jarring on the body. But I'm trying to get back into posting about movies. I have been giving some consideration to starting a Substack. Instead of posting blogs on my Ko-fi, I will write my articles on Substack and then share them on my Ko-fi. I am still up in the air about that. It's been hard for me to get back into movies since the SAG-AFTRA strike because of so much of the vitriol against people who are pro-Palestine in Hollywood. But I'm thinking I will bring it back with a breakdown of Cecil B. Demented. My fuzzy crazy over here, that is who he is named for, Stephen Dorff's character in that movie. It is one of my all-time favorite movies, John Waters. So I think that is where I'm gonna go with my first Substack article. Just dip my toes in, see what people think. So make sure you follow me on all my social media. Mostly, I'm gonna see about maintaining my threads until the new year, but I'm really trying to move everything off of any Meta-owned platforms, which includes Threads and Instagram. I'm going completely private in the new year so I can just take everything off. Their new terms of service, now anything you post anywhere on any of their sites is going to be fed into an AI generator, and you do not have an option to opt out of it, and that is far beyond not okay for me. As somebody who literally, when I was on Twitter, I had 29 followers, and then Amazon, one of those bots that they have that picks up on artwork to steal it. I found my artwork on a t-shirt on Amazon. My artwork. Okay? No, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. And I definitely am not throwing people who are better artists than me under the bus because Instagram is the place to get exposure for your pictures, right? Lemonade. Fuck Instagram. Let's all move to Lemonade. Especially since Lemonade is now giving people a way to potentially bypass the TikTok ban. If you link your Lemonade and your TikTok before the ban goes into effect, you will be able to use TikTok through Lemonade because they are owned by the same company. But please, 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 please consider joining Blue Sky. It is what Twitter used to be. 100% worth it. Or find me on Fable. or come subscribe to my YouTube channel. I really, really want a way to get my community tab going, but that can only happen if I have people who participate as subscribers. So think about that, ring the notification bell, that way you always hear when I am updated. And I want to say thank you to my Fable friends. You know who you are, because all I gotta do is post a link and say, please give this a boost, and y'all are on it, even if it's not something you're interested in. And I'm fairly certain that the impact of ADHD and CPTSD on relationships is not really something you maybe wanted to hear about, but I'm thankful that you sat through it, because it's a big deal to me to be treated like that. I don't like it. So whatever y'all can do to help me boost the message, right? I know y'all got it. So thank you one more time. I hope everyone got their decorations up, had a great Thanksgiving, and I hope that everybody is doing a lot of good reading this month. I know the stress can be stressful, even for those of us who are not continuously getting kicked in the teeth. So please remember to self-care. Always take a reading break when you need it. And we'll see you in the next video.